Alright, it's time for Zodiac. We're finally playing the level. I've been procrastinating this for weeks. Yeah, it's Zodiac. We're doing Zodiac, and we're doing it in practice, because I've already beaten it. But you know the drill by now. We're talking about this level, and we're going to talk about how the heck to beat it if you ever want to. So first of all, understand that the first, like, 40 seconds, I am in normal, understand that the first 40 seconds are extremely easy, other than one click, and you will be insanely bored playing this from zero. Like, it's just a fact. You will. There's nothing you can do about it. The first part, Rico LP, it is so easy. I've gotten 8% on this level on mobile, 60 hertz mobile, because I was bored one day and I was like, let's just do it. And it took me like 5 minutes. Once again, like, easy part. And this wave looks a lot scarier than it is, but like, you can go down insanely early there because these spikes don't close in on you until like much later than it looks. So it looks like you'll clip in there, but you're just fine. This part's impossible to learn, but and of the pre-drop parts, it's by far the hardest, but you get consistent at it, other than one jump. These two, the pink and the yellow orb, feel awful. They don't look like they'd be bad, but actually playing them is torment, because you can't buffer them. But if you are even the slightest bit late, then you just die. This is a frame this jump right here is a frame perfect. But it's not that bad. It's the only hard click, though, in the beginning. And then this part right here, what you kind of want to do is I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of how I straighten myself out there. But I mean, it's just straight fly, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then those triple spikes are free. Except if you die to them from zero, you get very angry. That's the first 40 seconds of Zodiac. Blind green orb that sucks, and then the rest of Bionox is like... I had an awful time with this. This part right here, the black orb going up through that part, is so hard for me. But then, and then there's a red orb down there that it's completely blind. Like, obviously you'll know where it is. And then this ship part is like, when I was going from zero for a long time, I would I'd have an awful time with it. Like, it just keep killing me over and over. I don't even want to say it gets consistent. Bionox is hard, dude. Basically, the basics is that you want to hold at the beginning, react, because depending on how late you jump over the triple spike, the triple spike over there, then you can enter this the portal early or late, or like depend on different heights, and each way you have to react in a different way to get through the spikes here. Then you just hit the green orb like very lightly, and then catch yourself in there. And then the wave is weird because it looks open at the beginning, but you need to have a set click going into this corridor, or else you're going to be way off. This duel is easy, but there's more nuance to it than I thought, because it actually looks like something out of a 7-star when you're watching it. But you buffer all of those. There's a bug on the first black orb where there's nothing you can do about it, and you'll just die randomly. I'm not sure if that's a CBF thing. And then these two are buffers. No, that's not a buffer. This first click is a buffer, and then you kind of want to hit the dash orb as you're falling as the spider. And then what I do is I release the dash orb before entering the UFO portal, even though I'm pretty sure there is a D block. Not a D block. Yeah, there's an S block at the portal, but I want to be at a good height because of the way you enter the ship portal. Because you can enter that ship portal super high, and then it makes the ship part hard, because you'll have to wait like super long and then dip down like that, and then you have like barely any time. But if I enter this ship portal high, like lower down, then I have like all the time in the world, and that ship is insanely easy because you just do like one click and then another click right when you hit the yellow portal. And as long as you released before like entering the yellow portal and you gave yourself that time to kind of lose upward momentum, then you'll be fine. Both of these look like buffers, but they're just barely not. And then those, I can't even explain the pink orb and the green orb. They're like weird, and I don't get them. But I almost never died to them from zero. They're easy, but they're not. I don't think they're buffers. Dudex's part is like the most under talked about part ever, but I kept dying to it all the time. Except for right now, because I am amazing. I mean, there's not even that many strategies for this part. It's so straightforward. The only like strat that I even have for this is that after hitting that black orb, you jump right away, so that you're lower down when hitting this blue orb, so this blue orb has a easier timing. Other than that, those two dash orbs suck, and I hate them. And then that ship part is actually not that bad, but you can overthink it very easily. Hit that late, but don't like stress it too much. Because if you overstress this green orb, then you just will mess it up. And then this part's pretty easy. That robot jump you can do pretty early, like earlier than you think you would want to do it. And then this dash orb is not, again, it's not difficult, but if you hit it late, then you'll just die, even if it looks like you'll be fine. Then you get the Shock Cityans part. Probably one of the hardest parts, but also one of the most overhyped in terms of its difficulty. Some people were like, this is the hardest part of all time, and I just don't think it is. First jump is like frame perfect on 60 hertz. That ship part, that is the only hard part of Shock City, in my opinion. Like, so you do this first jump, and once you do that first jump, then it's like whatever. But mostly focus on the top cube. Because there's nothing going on the bottom. There's no tight timings, but there's two tight timings on the top, being just the two jumps that you do. That ship sucks, and I don't even know if I'm doing it the best way. Like, I can't even recommend a strat, because there's probably something way better than to do. But I just do, like a delayed, like, 1-2, and then hit the green orb as late as possible. Because you can also do that. This is, like, a massive choke point. Then that part's pretty easy. I think that blue orb is a 60 frames per second frame perfect as well. And then that is the worst death in the level. Like, every other death is, like, fine, but whenever I hit that jump too late, and you just, like, coyote frame ball input off of the platform, and both of them just go up into space, like, what do you even call that? Something that you want to keep in mind when doing this part is that the arrows do not always tell you the best spot to click. Like, for example, this click that I just did, you want to click before the arrow, like, for sure. Pretty much when the right edge of your ball aligns with the center of the arrow, that's when you click. And it's much safer to click early than late. It's just that you might get a worse setup for the blue orb. Because already it's tight no matter where you do it. This jump's pretty easy. It looks very hard, and I failed it like 3 times now. Yuho's part is very interesting. I don't think it's hard. It's got like 2 choke points, maybe? I mean, it starts out easy. The ship's pretty easy. That part gave me so much hassle, considering it's not that hard. Obviously the superior method is to do like 2 clicks going down and then 2 clicks going up. Like, doing the hold strat looks way cooler, but it's also like impossible. I mean, maybe it's not that bad. I think it's pretty hard. Anyways, on the 2 click strat, what you need to do is get as close as you can before clicking, and click with much more power than you think you need to, because if you click too light, you will just die. That purple dash orb is insanely hard, but I also don't... You can line it up, because it's like right in the middle. So, just focus on when you get to the middle of the dash orb, and then you should be fine. And then for that ship, I do like 2 clicks going down and then 3 clicks going up, but you can figure that out on your own. This part kind of sucks, but it's mostly because of the ship at the end. I'm not very good at ship, so those yellow orbs are kind of weird, but I mean, let me just mention, doing runs from this part, 49 to 100 was one of the least consistent runs of the entire level. Like, I think I was better at 38 to 100 than I was 49 to 100. Something about starting from here is one of the most agonizing things I've ever done in this game. At least in terms of runs, that is. Okay, so this ship is brutal. So you need to dip down like that, and then, God, this swerve, I think, is the hardest part, followed straight into this, because, like, you can kind of just, like, ease your way around here, but then you need to have a good click pattern here, or else you're just going to be in the wrong spot. So, you do, for me, I do, like, 1, 2, 3 right when I enter the portal. Like, very quick, very light taps. But, I mean, you see just how tight it is if you don't, like, have it set up right. Because, like, this is a very tight gap considering how the ship momentum works. Even though it doesn't look that bad. Kind of. And then you just kind of inch your way up there. I do this part like this first part. I hold on that slope. I'm already in a bad position for this, but I hold there and then make sure that this platform catches me on the corner, because then I'm in a 100% consistent position for this next part. And then I hit the back end of that second to last orb, so that I'm in a pretty consistent position for the UFO click. And the UFO click is one of the worst things. It is the biggest, like, mind block spot, in my opinion. Because, I mean, everyone knows what's coming up next. It's TMN. And that, and then this release are... Samifying was an absolute... Like, he was possessed by a freaking demon when he made this part. It sucks. Because, like, that's a frame perfect on 60 FPS, and then depending on how you leave the UFO, then you either need to jump right away over those two spikes, or you need to wait a little bit and then click. And if you misjudge it, then you're dead. Yeah, it's so hard. So like you can't even celebrate once you've passed the UFO. Because you need to immediately do that jump, and then, right afterwards, you need to do this freaking wave release. And then this, after the wave, the way you jump into that cube portal will always, like, be different. And it sucks. But then the rest is easy. Frame perfect to start TMN. So that blue orb is, like, 60 FPS frame perfect. And then, afterwards... you just have about 3 seconds of free stuff. When I come out of that ship portal, I like to hit my head on the ceiling. A lot of people like to not do that. I'm not even sure what they do because I've never done it. I mean, they do that, which is fine, but I prefer doing that because I'm already going on a downwards angle through this section. So, like, starting on the ceiling gets me in a consistent position every single time, and I can just start going down. And then that gravity switch at 58 is abysmal. It's so hard. But this 59 is the hardest part of the entire level. Like, it's the hardest singular percentage, and I don't even think it's close. So, I mean, you just kind of do these first two ball inputs. Like, I'd say click with the music for the first two ball inputs, like the saxophone notes going up. That's kind of how I click with the ball. But don't click too early. And then you need to click this pink orb pretty late. Basically, you want to land and, like, almost immediately connect with this block so that you have all the timing ability in the world to do this part. Like, if you're not lined up well to do this next click, it's way harder than it seems. And it could just be impossible if you're too high. And then those two wave inputs are impossible. And then UFO, pretty much when you get here, it is like, holy shit, it's an attempt. Like... all of that just for it to be like, oh my god, we might actually get somewhere. Like, that is the brutality of this level. It's the fact that you need to get past 59% in order to feel any semblance of confidence that you might beat it. I got past 59, hold on, how many times? But like 6 or 7 times, and I mean, that's brutal. Considering you also I got lucky, very lucky with this level. And if I was less lucky, my god, this would have been one hell of an experience. So you just buffer that green orb, and then you almost buffer the pink orb, but you don't. And then I know there's like a strat that you can do where you skip the green orbs and stuff, but I don't think they're that bad. I know it's very tempting to try to hit the second UFO jump. This one. It's very tempting to try to hit it late, because if you hit it late, then then the first green orb timing is a bit easier, but don't worry about it. The difference is so minimal that it's just like you're throwing attempts away if you try to do that. You're just it's way too risky. But you just hit that green orb, the first green orb, as early as physically possible, and then hit the second one whenever you want, because you'll always get saved. This is a 60 FPS frame perfect, but it's also kind of easy, so, you know. The rest of the part is, like... I don't think the rest of the part's that bad, if I'm being honest. It's mostly that first little bit, and then these green orbs. These green orbs suck, but they're not... they're not impossible, like a lot of people make them out to be. So you hit the first one late, and then you hit the second one, like, much quicker. If you try to hit... if you're too early on this green orb, then you'll get, like, a weird position. But if you just do 2 very fast clicks, then you'll be fine. God save you for this ship gap, because it's easy as hell, but if you fail it, like I did, it's awful. But this part's very easy. Save for this part, other than a couple clicks. I died to that click from 0. That was the attempt before I beat it. I died to that click. And then this ship part was my other death. And basically, what you want to do with that ship part is try to stay as, like, you never need to, like, do, like, a super hold or go up super high or anything like that. Stay super straight as you can, like, as straight as you can, and as controlled as you can, and then just kind of slightly go up until you reach that, like, triple spike sort of structure, and then start, like, slowly heading down. And other than that, and then the rest of the part is all orb buffers. And then this wave is freaking like, this section is the bane of my existence. That part's pretty chill. Those blue orbs, on the day I beat it, I was freaking out, because I could not do those blue orbs for some reason. What you kind of want to do is you want to hit the first one. It's not a buffer, but you don't hit it late. You don't even hit it, like, in the middle. You just wait, like, half a second. Then the second one you hit super late. Not super late. Probably in the middle. Hit the second one in the middle. And then the one afterwards, you buffer it. Or, like, you do slightly later than a buffer. Also, all that information on those blue orbs, just for in practice, it's like, oh yeah, they're just 3 blind inputs that you can't see. It's like, yeah, good freaking luck. And then this wave part I thought was really hard, but there's nothing I can really tell you to do about it. It's just, like, get good at it. And then the yellow orb is kind of the same boat. I'm good at it, but that's just because I've done it so many times. And then this wave part is like, if you die here, then I'm sorry to hear that. Slim Jim's part is insanely easy, and most people talk about this, which is like a 60 FPS frame perfect, this first one, because it's like the jump itself is 2 frames, but if you hit the late frame, then you can't go through this. It's a frame perfect because you just need to hit the early frame to do both. I don't think it's that hard, actually. I was not super nervous when I was nervous when I got here, but I wasn't nervous about this jump in particular. And then I literally don't even know what I do during this shit part. I just click, like, 3 times. And then try to hit that first green dash orb in the middle. Hit the green orb in the middle. Pretty much hit all of those in the middle. If you're too low on the pink dash orb, then you will die. You'll get impaled by a spike. And if you're too high, which is very rare, then you'll hit this spike above me. You'll hit that one. But, again, both of those are pretty rare. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but this second to last set of spikes on this straight fly is tighter than the rest of it. I might be schizophrenic and insane, but every single time I died to the straight fly, I died to the second to last set of spikes. and always bottom. Like, I'd hit the bottom set. That's, like, you gotta watch out for those. Be a bit higher than you might think that you need to. Not sure, again, if that is 100% set in stone facts, but that's how it feels to me, and that's how I, survived it. Leo Creator is not hard, but basically what I recommend here, definitely I don't even know if you can buffer this Black Orb, but, like, there. Like, you wait just very slightly, because then you can buffer that blue orb, and that's nice. And then you hit the dash orb to go through these spikes. You want to hit it higher up, because if you're too low, then these spikes can impale you. It's not like it's probably going to happen, but you gotta watch out. Those dash orbs are easy. That is apparently a 60 FPS frame perfect, but literally it is the easiest jump of all time. I swear to God, most of the hard jumps in this level are not frame perfect. They're like some of the more setup based jumps. Those are the ones that you really need to worry about in this level. NLEX's ship, everyone talks about how like impossible it is. At least the victors. I think they are crazy. So basically what you do, I'm gonna like slow it down, see if I can. What you do is I do one hold here, like hold there, because if I try to like straighten out and go up twice, like these spikes are not designed for you to do that. Because these spikes up, like this one is fine, like you can kind of do that, but these spikes, they're not rotated or anything. Those rectangular hitboxes are like awful. What you want, like the most space you're ever gonna have is if you're going through the section horizontally. So I try to be horizontal when I do that. Yeah, that means I'm gonna be kind of low when I hit this portal, but that's not really a problem, because if you hit the yellow orb a bit, like, if you just hit it lightly, then you'll lose a lot of that momentum going down, and then you'll be pretty straight going through here. Then you do 2 clicks to straighten yourself out in that middle. For the longest time, I did 1, but don't ever do that. And then you're at the UFO, and the rest of NLEX is a 7-star until the final wave. That's probably wrong. It's probably a bit harder than a 7-star, but this part is 7-star. Hey, I still got it. That was intentional because I wanted to go back. This wave, I learned it on day 1 and day 2. That is how hard this wave is to learn. It was a 2-day project to get this wave consistent. There is something about this wave, man. It starts off so hard and then gets so easy. These first 2 clicks are fine. Pretty much those 4 clicks aren't the problem. This release is probably the hardest one in the part, because this spike, there's a spike up here that is awful. Like, it's so annoying. So, I mean, you just kind of need to get this is such a muscle memory part. You need to get you just need to get the muscle memory down for that one. For me, the hardest part of the wave was the last 3 inputs. These 3. They suck, because the rest of it is so muscle memory based, and then you get to this, and it's like, the first click isn't that bad, it's the second one. This second one is so much lighter than, like, all the other clicks in this part are so, like, they're so long, like, they're such long clicks, and it's like, oh, you need to know when to press and release, but at the same time, you have a lot of time in between, relatively speaking. That one is awful, because you have, like, almost no time between this release, this press, and this release are so fast. And then don't throw, because a lot of the time you'll pass this and you'll be, oh, I passed it, and then you'll press too early and you'll just die because you went up too quick. Then leaving this wave, I'm not sure if this is like a bug per se, but so you can hold coming out of this wave portal and you'll hit this red orb. But sometimes you won't. Like, sometimes you just straight up won't. So what I did was I just released after hitting this cube portal. You have time. Like, you have a lot of time to hit, like, between the pads and hitting this orb. So I just released and then buffered that orb, like, normally. And then the rest of it is easy, because you hit that red orb and then you just hold. And then this green orb, I can understand dying to it because of nerves, but, like, respectfully, the green orb is freaking easy as hell. And if you die to it, I'm not finishing that. Yeah, so that's... I'm turning off speed hacks that I don't have to sit through, like, 9 freaking years of, end screen. Yeah, this is it's a great level, but at the same time, dear lord, it is such a challenge. You never feel consistent at it. Like, most people agree, you never feel consistent at it. Until, like, the last day. I don't know, that might just be a me thing, that I felt, like, on the last day, I literally passed TMN twice in a row from 0. It was the day I got 15 to 100, the day I got 72, and the day I beat it. Like, it was, I can't even explain that. So yeah, I mean, that's Zodiac. It's a level and a half, but, I mean, you can do it. If you're actually going for it, you just gotta keep in mind that it's gonna take you a long time, and the beginning is just so boring. That's my biggest gripe with this level, is that the beginning is so boring. It's like it is a chore to get anywhere in this level, especially at the beginning. Because it's just like, you die to the drop, but it's like, congratulations, sit through 40 more seconds of gameplay. I like how the lines on the end screen are becoming, like, non-straight because of how long I've been sitting here. But yeah, that's Zodiac. I'm not stretching this out any longer. If anyone actually wants to beat this level when they go for it, and they're watching this video, good freaking luck. It's kind of a beast. I mean, when I started playing this game, not when I started playing the game, but, like, when I started getting really into the game, this is top 1. So it's like, hell yeah, I just beat top 1. Like, that's how it feels for me now. It's like I'm the best player of the game. But, you know, obviously the game's way harder now than it ever was back then. Some of the best players back then can barely beat a main list. I mean, they can be main list, but, like, the difficulty it takes to beat a main list now is so much higher than beating Zodiac. It's absurd. So yeah. And I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, the game's getting too hard. It's like, no, it's just gonna happen with time. If anything, what I see is gonna happen is that things like the all-rated list and, like, those sort of things that rank all the extremes, those are gonna start getting way more popular than Pointer Crate. So that people, like, especially when, like, Zodiac gets kicked off, Bloodlust is already off. People can keep submitting those records to those websites and still feel good about it without having to be like, oh, it's time to beat a level that's harder than time to beat the Golden as my first extended list. Like, that's just the way the game's gonna go. Everything changes. That's how it's gonna work. But Zodiac is still, like, the best top 1 in ever, even though it feels like such a chore a lot of the time until you get consistent at it. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about Zodiac. If not, then the screen will turn black right now and I'll say some things. But yeah, this is my first weekly upload. Trust, it'll actually happen. I'm gonna start working on my next video right after this, so, you know. Bye-bye, guys. See you next week.